Hey guys, Sarge here. What we're going to be talking about today are different types of everyday carry belts, and really what is the difference between, let's say, a normal belt that you might find at Walmart or somewhere to that effect compared to a belt that is specifically made for carrying a gun, and what are some of the things that really sets them apart. The belts for today that we're going to be using is my Liberty Gun Belt. This one is more of like the instructor style belt is what they call it. I've used this belt now for almost 2 years, and this was the one that I would wear out at my courses, things of that effect. So this will be kind of the instructor or nylon webbing style belt. Then for the leather belts that we have, because those are primarily the best options out there, is that's kind of the debate everybody has, is go with that tactical instructor webbing belt or whatever, or go with the more traditional leather belts. So with that, I have two different leather belts. I have one that is a 1 1/4 inch belt and the 1 1/2 inch belt here. The 1 1/4 is more for if you were to wear like dress pants, things of that effect, or even some of the different cargo shorts, things that just have a little bit smaller of the belt loop areas. So that way you're not sacrificing maybe what gun you can use. So what we're going to do real quick, guys, I'm going to put each belt on and kind of show you how I carry with the gun and show you some of the pros of why I use them. So stay tuned for that, guys. So the first one up that we're going to talk about is that 1 1/2 inch leather belt. It is a Hanks gun belt. It's double stitched leather. It is a very nice leather belt. I've used it for a while now. I don't even know exactly how long, but I would say at least since 2016. So pretty long time. I will say too, it is pretty worn in the front, but that is primarily due to the belt buckle that I use, and that's my own fault for doing it. But it took like a 1.5 years of using that belt buckle and wearing the belt every single day just kind of rub some of the, I wouldn't even say, it's not even really the surface, it's just, or the actual leather material itself, it's just the coloring of the dye kind of faded right there. But you can feel no difference in the actual texture of the belt itself. So here is how it looks, guys. Something to note, this is a full-size government 1911 loaded, and it has a rail, so I believe it's about 40 to 41 ounces, give or take, inside of my McKinney Talon holster. One thing to look at is when we look at gun belts as opposed to other belts, we're kind of looking for, when it has the whole weight of that gun, is it sagging at all? Okay, and if it is, that's not a belt we need, right? Because what's it going to do while you're walking around, or if you're moving, and it's constantly shifting around with you guys. So as we can see here, it's completely supporting the weight of my 1911, and it isn't sagging forward, nothing like that. It's keeping my pants up, which is kind of the point of the belt, and allowing me to completely carry this full-size 1911. Okay, now something about wearing with a belt buckle that will kind of change, because it takes up more space up front, right? So if you carry appendix, it does limit you to certain holster styles that you can carry. For me, I'm normally against clips, but McKinney makes a fantastic clip that completely goes underneath the belt. Okay, if you guys can see there, it completely goes underneath the belt. All their clips are like this, but the two clip models that they have are this kind of fuller one, and then this sleeker, smaller profile that's on their Talon Slimline. And anytime if I'm going to wear a belt buckle or anything to that effect, this is a much easier option. Both of them are good, right? But if you're wearing, maybe you have limited space up here in the front, look for holsters like this McKinney Talon Slimline that have this smaller clip, and make sure it can support the weight of the gun, obviously. But it takes up no space up in the front, and you're good to go, guys. And this is my Shield 45. So as we can see, okay, this Hanks gun belt completely holds a full-size 1911 and a Shield 45. Let's look at one of the other options. I went ahead, changed out belts. Now I have the 1 1/4, so that smaller belt, more for like dress clothes, things of that effect. And starting off with the 1911, as you guys can see, it completely holds it the exact same way as the full-size belt, guys. So no, you're not sacrificing anything. And that, it's kind of the best part about the belt is a lot of people they really don't realize how much it plays into their concealed carry. And I've heard some people say like, well, it doesn't matter, if it's uncomfortable or if it's whatever, just suck it up and deal with it. I get it. Carrying a gun should be comforting because it's not going to be comfortable all the time, right? Appendix carrying a 1911 is not comfortable. I got it. However, there are things that I can do to make it a whole lot easier to do, so I want to do it more often. Because if it was just completely uncomfortable or was putting me in pain, things of that effect, I'm not going to carry a gun, guys. I'm going to find a different way to do it because that's just unbearable for whatever. So kind of fixing that setup makes this easier to do and makes me want to do it more often because it isn't negatively affecting me. So as we can see with this smaller belt, it is completely holding my 1911. You don't see it sagging, it's not pulling anything down. Okay, we'll take the 1911 off. And here is my Shield 45 in the Talon Slimline. Okay, and good to go with that one as well, guys. So it's just really kind of your preference. For me, if I do carry concealed, I like having the smaller profile holsters, but whichever clip size you want to go with, cool. Just make sure that clip goes underneath the belt on the bottom. A lot of the holsters that I've seen with clips have issues because that clip doesn't go all the way underneath. So then what happens is when you go to draw your pistol out, that clip comes undone and the holster comes out as well, okay? So let's look at our last belt option, guys. So here's the last belt option. This is my Liberty Gun Belt. This is that nylon webbing style belt. What I like about it is, as opposed to the leather, with the belt buckle, whatever buckle you have, and then the extra kind of belt retainer piece that's there, you don't have to worry about that with this style of a belt. You can kind of move it to wherever you want to. And then what's cool about these Liberty Gun Belts, it has the Cobra buckle, so you can kind of pull down on that angle and adjust the tightness once you get the gun or once you get the holster and the belt kind of position to where you want them at, right? You can completely tighten it down so it feels a little bit tighter, or if, maybe you're sitting down, you're in a car, you're at a movie theater, whatever you're doing, you can then kind of loosen it up if you want, just to kind of, relax, kind of let it out, whatever it is, and then tighten it back up before you get to moving. And it's really that simple, guys. It comes with a little elastic piece that retains the extra material there, but no issues. Like, again, conceals a full-size government model 1911, so it'll definitely conceal this Shield 45, guys. So no issues there. Overall, it really depends on what I'm doing. Those are the 3 belts that I use. I haven't used any of the other belt options that I have. And something I've noticed, belts are a lot like holsters. Get a quality one and quit buying these little cheap flimsy ones, because I cannot tell you how many holsters I bought thinking, well, the reason why I can't conceal carry this is because of this holster. And that was not the case. It was 100% due to the fact of I wasn't wearing the proper belt, which is the foundation of your concealed carry system. So it didn't matter what holster I used or what gun it was going to make it impossible to conceal. Something else I'd like to talk to you guys about, these McKenna Tech holsters. I am a huge fan of the way he makes his holsters. Also, if you go and look at the price point, because his holsters should be about twice as much as what they are. But he blends all of his edges and he makes it the sleekest profile that he can for every single holster. So if you're carrying a thin gun anyway, a lot of the issues with the holsters is there's so much extra material because the person making them doesn't really know how to make them from his mom's basement, that it takes away from the concealability factor. So it's making it harder to conceal a super easy gun to conceal, okay? Just something to think about. McKinney holsters, he is a sponsor of mine, but I wouldn't work with him if I didn't like his stuff. I have worked with other holster companies in the past who I've disagreed with, and we've tried to work to fix certain things, and it just didn't work out. So I decided to go with a company to where I don't disagree with anything, right? And this is something that he makes fantastic holsters. Obviously, if you can still carry a full-size government model 1911 in the appendix and it's comfortable, there's something there, okay? So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this gave you guys a little bit more insight into kind of what to look for with your everyday carry belt and what I look for with my everyday carry belt. If you guys have any questions, please let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. As always, guys, stay tuned for more. Sarge out.